Bungie backs out of livestream event amid gamer rage. AAA game developer Bungie have reportedly cancelled a livestream event for Destiny 2 following outrage at the revelation of some hush-hush gameplay mechanics. Reportedly, Bungie admitted to having created an unseen system that throttled players' experience points in Destiny 2 while still displaying it as normal. In Destiny 2, experience points, or XP, let gamers level up and become more powerful. The limit is level 20 in Destiny 2, but they can still earn XP and Engrams, an in-game currency that lets them buy new stuff for their character. Bungie scrapped the hidden system, but now experience required for level ups has more or less doubled. Engrams can also be paid for with real-world cash, so some speculate this is Bungie's way of getting gamers to spend more money on the $60 game. This ticked off gamers even further, and as such, Bungie cancelled a livestream event that was supposed to detail an expansion pack about the game. Instead, gamers will get a Bungie blog post explaining Destiny 2's future. More gaming stories. Belgium and Hawaii are investigating loot boxes. Are video game loot boxes exposing minors to gambling? That's the answer authorities are seeking in Belgium and Hawaii. Loot boxes are virtual containers earned or purchased while playing a video game. They typically contain a randomized assortment of virtual items aimed at enhancing the player's experience and in-game abilities. Because of the elements of chance and money involved, Belgian and Hawaiian authorities are investigating whether the practice exposes minors to gambling. According to the Brisbane Times, a regulatory analyst for the state of Victoria in Australia said loot boxes do constitute gambling but are difficult to regulate. Loot boxes have been commonplace in gaming for some time now, but it was Electronic Arts' use of them in Star Wars Battlefront 2 that prompted recent concern. Hawaii State Representative Chris Lee described the loot box system in a new Star Wars game as an online casino designed to lure kids into spending money. Lee reckons publisher Electronic Arts employed predatory practices against children with their controversial loot box system in the game Star Wars Battlefront 2. Chinese keyboard records how many times keys are pressed. A made-in-China gaming keyboard is sending data back to a Chinese server. Unbelievable! Several users of the Mantis Tech GK2 gaming keyboard have reported a built-in keylogger is sending data to an Alibaba server in China. The issue is being caused by the keyboard's cloud driver, which sends how many times keys are pressed to IP addresses linked to Alibaba servers. Tracking this type of data without user permission could be a violation of privacy laws in the EU. To stop the keyboard from sending your key presses to the Alibaba server, make sure the Mantis Tech cloud driver software isn't running in the background. Another method is by blocking the cms.exe executable in your firewall by adding a new firewall rule for the Mantis Tech cloud driver in your Windows settings. And if neither of these seem appealing, you could always just chuck the keyboard out the window.
Your plumber is not in this castle. Everyone's favorite plumber, Super Mario, is no longer a plumber, and hasn't been for a while, according to Nintendo. Gaming website Kotaku reported the news earlier this week after happening on the Japanese description of his Nintendo profile page. But despite this, it looks like at least he's keeping the uniform. Shigsy, that's Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto for those with a life, previously said that the game's scenario dictates his role, which means this ex-plumber is quite the jack of all trades. The overweight fictional Italian has also been a carpenter, a doctor, soccer player, go-kart driver. Oh, and he has a penchant for eating mushrooms, magical plants, and flashing stars. Should we add psychedelic drug addict to that list? He's also really into cosplay, especially of the furry or animal variety. But what does Mario enjoy doing the most? Saving his beloved Princess Peach from some turtle dragon dude and getting some sweet, delicious, mouth-watering, creamy, luscious baked cake in return. Mamma mia. Gaming study says too much in-game GPS is bad for you. Next time you boot up your favorite first-person shooter, it may be wise to switch off the heads-up display or minimap. Why? According to new research, too much in-game GPS could be bad for your brain. Participants in the video game study played games for between 2 and 4 hours, 3 times a week for up to 12 hours per week, resulting in 90 hours of gameplay time. The research looked at the effects of gameplay on the hippocampus and the caudate nucleus. The first is responsible for emotions, learning, and memory formation. The latter helps us form habits and routines. Routines such as when to eat, exercise, or get home from work, and how to reward yourself for your behavior, are stored in the caudate nucleus. The study found the hippocampus shrank after 90 hours of action and shooter gaming because players use their caudate nucleus more to play and navigate. However, the reverse was true for those playing 3D platform games. After 90 hours, researchers saw an increase in the gray matter in their hippocampi, and they were reportedly playing Super Mario games. The gist of it is this: in shooters and action games, players follow a map and are on a linear path, going from A to B. The study puts that too much of this is harmful for your brain. Super Mario, on the other hand, the researchers say, encourages you to remember landmarks and use spatial awareness and is good for the brain. And a bad hippocampus, they say, can result in depression and possibly even dementia. But University of Oxford professor Andrew Szubrylski points out that the study lacks statistical power and the framing of harm may mislead readers. He told the Mirror, the interpretation of harm, although attention-grabbing, was not peer-reviewed and appears to have been introduced afterwards. So basically, the study got published, then it was spun in a news release stating video games can harm brains. Newspapers saw that and thought, video games cause brain damage, yo! But the reality is that studies on gaming are inconclusive and mixed at best. For every study that says gaming is good for you, you'll find one that says it's bad. And speaking of studies, this team's work has been, as Villanova University psychology professor Patrick Markey tweets, debunked in the past for similar reasons. What's your take? Fire off below and let us know.